This is the Golden Buggy, back with another delivery. Today we're taking a look at Nico Robin, or as the people of the Flower Capital know her more as, Orobi. This is my first Banpresto Grandline Lady DXF figure, so I'm excited for that. Also, Robin is one of the characters that rotate on my favorite Straw Hat spot, so yeah. If you're up to date with One Piece, you probably know that she kind of got nerfed post time skip, so I hope she gets more time to shine this time around. The figure comes in 3 pieces: upper body, lower body, and the base. Just remember to be careful around the upper body, especially the head and the hand that holds the fan. Just a quick rundown of specs. Her height is about 6.75 inches, including the base. So without the base, it would be 6.5 inches. But then again, the pegs are attached to her feet, so you will need the base anyway. So yeah, 6.75. And then for shipping purposes, she is about 116 grams. And then the price in the US on release, or when there was still a lot of stock, is around $20 to $25. Here I have a few other figures just to compare her. Maybe you have some of these or something similar. So here I have Wano Law from the Grandline Man series, just a little over 7 inches. And then here I have a Funko Pop, then a dilapidated pack of cards, and Nami from GNG. It's a little tall really, so maybe I'll move farther back. So this costume for Robin, or Orobi, is not in any of the games that I play. So Bounty Rush or Pirate Warriors. I think it's in Treasure Cruise, I'm not sure, but then again, that's not a 3D model. So we'll just base it off the anime. I'll have the anime version here, and then maybe a comparison to the Figuarts Zero here over on the right. So faithfulness to the source, I'd say that this is a very well done figure. It really looks like Orobi, more so even than the Figuarts version that is a lot more expensive, I should say. And yeah, I'm glad I went with this one instead of that one. So this is kind of her main attire, main disguise in the Flower Capital. She is a geisha in training, and she tried to infiltrate Oroshi's castle. It would be nice if they made a version with the longer kimono, but this is fine as well, and it's very similar to what is in the anime. If anything, I wish this fan was open actually. Going over the pose, it's very casual, similar to other DXF figures from this line. And then she has this expression on her face, but you can never really tell what Robin is thinking inside her head. Sometimes it's just some dark humor, sometimes she's scheming, not really sure, but yeah, this is just a casual pose with the fan and all. So for faithfulness to the source, I think considering that there are only 2 Orobis like this in existence, I mean this and the Figuarts one, I'll give this one a 2.7 over 3. As for detail, DXF, this whole line isn't known for that, as I have read in the forums, but I think this has a decent amount of detail. Starting with the head. Here we see they gave detail to her hair, individual strands, instead of just being one big block. Although there are some rough cuts here and there, but that is fine really. You won't notice it if you're looking at it, say, a feet or 2 away. And then I really like the hairpins. So there's one, and then there's this, more of an ornamental than a functional kind. I should mention that you should be careful when unboxing this figure, especially in the head area, because these are malleable and really kind of fragile. Moving further down, we see that her clothes, there's actually 2 pieces to them. One is kind of the outer coat, and then there's the inner one, and you can see those two pieces around here. Then this is raised, so there's more detail there. You can see the creases in her clothes. I think, hang on, I think there's some shading here and there, but overall not a lot. It's fine though. The details are there enough for the figure to create its own shading with the right amount of light. Look at this angle, you'll actually see that they actually sculpted the figure, the body first, so there's also print on there, and then you can see her outline, and then they added this kind of ribbon thing, so that is nice. Again, there's some rough cuts here and there, as well as some paint defects, but I don't really mind those. Then there's a seam line running across here in the main kimono, but it kind of acts like it's part of the attire itself, as similar to how these parts in the sleeves are, so they don't really bother me. If we look here in the feet, it's nice. She has the socks, which is it's a separate piece. It's raised, I should say. The only thing I don't like is that the peg in the hole in this and on her left feet doesn't sit flat, so there's a little gap in between. In the front, again, similar to what I said in the back, they sculpted the body and then added this ribbon thing, so it's actually raised. So overall, for detail, I'm sorry, she doesn't have fingernails though. So overall for detail, I think I'll give this a 2.5/3. Base. So as I mentioned, the pegs are on her feet and not on the stand, so there's not really much that I can harp on this. If anything, DXF, come on, this is such a big base. I know that it's an efficiency and uniformity thing to just have all the bases similar to each other for the same line of products, but come on. She's only occupying about an inch square, but this base is about 3 or 4 inches wide. So maybe I'll give it a 0.7 for the base. Color. I think the colors are done just right. I really love how these kind of contrast each other in terms of brightness. And then another thing that I like is that it's matte and not really shiny. So for color, oh yeah, this part right here also really stands out. So for color, I'll give it the full 1/1. Price. So for US, $20 to $25. I guess looking at what I know now and what I've seen in my short time with this hobby, I guess there's not really much to complain about, because that's the usual going price for DXF figures in the US and 6-inch figures in general. It's kind of expensive, really. I mean, for the amount of material you're getting, considering how, say, the glitter and glamour is around 9 and 10 inches for the same price. Yeah, it's a little expensive, so for the price, if you get it at, say, $20 or below, you're in a good spot. But for 25, I'll put it around 0.8/10. Looking at it now, I think I messed up with the scoring. So for likeness to the source, I gave it a 2.7/3. And then for detail, I gave it a 2.5/3. For color, I said it's 1/1, but actually my criteria for color is over 2. So I give it now the full 2/2. And then the base is 0.7/1. Price, 0.8/1. So that would be a total of 8.7/10. So this is a generous score, especially to a lot of you seasoned collectors out there. But this will probably change as I progress more in this hobby, as I get more figures, and especially if we get more Orobi figures in the future. So if you really want an Orobi figure right now, I would really recommend this DXF one over the Figuarts one. Before I wrap up this review, I'd like to give a shout out to Monkey Figure Reviews because Robin is his favorite female character in One Piece, if I'm not mistaken. Also, he is kind of an inspiration for me going on doing this reviews. So go check out his channel. I'm sure you'll enjoy it a lot. He has lots and lots of figure reviews, and then his collection is growing and all that. He also has an Instagram account, which is very interesting. So I'll leave his links down below. And that's about it for this review. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it helped you in any way. I'd like to hear your thoughts on this figure in the comments down below. Do you think my rating 8.7 is too high? What would you give it? And all that fun stuff. So stay safe, and we'll see you on the next delivery.